Hello guys, and welcome back to Prequel, or Making a Cat Cry. Sorry that it's been a while. As you might be able to tell, a lot of things have changed. The microphone. Christmas has been a bit busy, so I got behind on some stuff. So, let's pick up where we left off then. Katia extrapolate, which we already did. So, you are now the Khajiit. I was already the Khajiit, but now I guess I'm me with resolve, with gusto, things like that. For the first time since I visited the Kvatch Mages Guild, I feel like things might work out. I might have a chance to set everything right, a chance to show Quillweave that I am capable and trustworthy. Sure, it will be dangerous and I might mess up a little more along the way, but if there's a chance that things will work out, a chance that Katia Monaghan can take control of this situation, then I'm going to chase it with everything I've got. And I've got a lot right now, I think. You might have broken the string of what held the Amulet of Silence, right? Didn't you go ahead? Why don't you go ahead and try fixing it? Wasn't it like a break-off necklace already? Clasp. Yeah, it had like a clasp. Look, we've been over this. The amulet has a drama clasp. When you give it a dramatic tug, it just comes undone. Then you click it back together and it's good to go. Seriously, if this had a normal clasp, I would have broken the chain at least like a dozen times by now. Sorry to dampen the mood, but how is the magic going to help you explain to Quillweave about how you messed everything up? The magic isn't going to help me explain to Quillweave about how I messed everything up, because after tonight is over, I won't have messed anything up. You motion for your assistant to hand you a pointer. Wait. Oh, telekinesis, okay. There's no assistant, that was telekinesis. Hey, I got it. I was confused for a second. Quillweave is counting on me to bring back a package from her friend at the bookstore. That package happens to currently be in possession of a wealthy, evil sorceress with a lifetime supply of mind control pheromones. That is a problem, but it's not an impossible problem. Remember, you have the key to the chapel undergroft, which you can use to sneak in instead. Because, you did pick it up, right? You didn't just leave it lying on the table, did you? Time to be clever. You're still really limited in your range of options, so you're going to have to get really creative in your witch hunting. Katia, before you go running to take Segrid down, think of a plan. First, you might want to find something to plug your nose to stop that bug stuff from taking control of you again. Some napkins might work. Yeah, she has... Well, I guess if it's stealthy, you don't need to worry about them. I think that her current plan is to go in there completely unnoticed. Be a rascally little thief like she was before. We'll see. I have the key to the chapel undercroft. I didn't want to take the key, but it was shiny and lying right on the table. Another Khajiit was watching me. It was a whole thing. Point is, I have it now. If Segrid's maybe lackey is to be believed, which is still up in the air, the undercroft has a secret passage to the Mages Guild. I could use the passageway to break in, retrieve Quillweave's package and anything else I want, then get out. Technically, it wouldn't even be stealing, since Sigrid is totally stole it from me in the first place. Platonically. Yes, very good idea to make that note. According to Stefan, Sigrid will be asleep at 4:00 a.m. If he's telling the truth, this whole thing should be a piece of cake. If he's lying or this is a trick or she wakes up or something, though, I'll need some kind of fallback plan. A mask might protect me from her pheromones and stuff, and telekinesis might be enough to protect me from her magic, but my best option is still to remain hidden and get out without being seen. If I can. Right now, it's about 1:06 in the morning. Since a break-in is one of those rare things where you're not supposed to show up early, that gives me around 3 hours to prepare and gather supplies and come up with a fallback plan of action. If I'm lucky, maybe a store or barracks will be open and I can find some way to earn or trade for any equipment I'll need. I have gotten a few barterable things since my last trip to a store. Some spices, a bit of bread, and I guess this ectoplasm? Katia, try using telekinesis on your own body. That's essentially all levitation is anyways. Try to levitate. Isn't flying magic illegal in Cyrodiil? Are they trying to get her to do illegal stuff that she doesn't know about? Well, levitation would certainly be cool and help me out with this whole break-in thing. I can't find the right handles, I guess, on myself. This stuff is all Machiavelli to me, but the magic swirly thing on my own body looks like they're locked in place pretty tightly. It just feels different than the inanimate stuff that I was moving before. Maybe it has to do with having a soul? Do Khajiits have souls? I don't know these things. I probably should know them. Can you pick yourself up? Your clothes will either let you fly? Try it. I think she just tried picking herself up, but maybe clothes? Oh. There's about a 95% chance this will not aid me against Sigrid. Well, still, it was a cool thought, and maybe if you went for, like, the gloves and boots, you'd be able to control it a bit more. But I see why you would go for chest for center of mass. Now, you need resources to hunt the witch. Find a weapon then use it to kill her in her sleep. Oh, that's a bit more than I think was intended. Or put your silence magic amulet around her neck, tie her up, gag her, and ransack the place for evidence. Steal a sack full of gold for yourself, and then turn her into the authorities. Well, I don't think she's technically done anything illegal by the sounds of it, which is unfortunate. Because technically she's had everything she's gotten signed away as a donation. I suppose it would be considered underhanded, but I don't know how easy it would be to convince authorities that this was all her fault. Yeah, like I said, I'd rather avoid an actual confrontation. Magic-absorbing Atronach or no, I'm not really ready to go toe-to-claw with a guild-trained mage, let alone anyone who can harm people with her very presence. But I have been thinking about it, and if I get in there while Sigrid is asleep, I'll have plenty of chances to indirectly cause her harm. I could take a bunch of her money, break some of her expensive stuff, or maybe even find some piece of evidence so incriminating that even her pheromones won't be able to protect her from the law. I'm a witch hunter. I'll find some way to put Sigrid where she belongs, but my top priority is to get Chloe's package and get out alive. Sad, Katia. You know, do something right for once. For now, though, I'll have a break-in to prepare for. Now that you learned some tricks, recheck the quest log. Yeah, a lot of things were kind of crammed into the quest log. I've actually kind of been disregarding my quest log and adding whatever came to mind. I should probably ignore it and just do one of those things you mentioned above. Katia, make a snow weapon. With telekinesis? Create a magical snow weaponry and armor to fight with. Make a snow weapon, fell out of the box. If you're going to do that, you have a very limited window of time. Does look like... Oh no, that's just... Never mind. I should have probably just ignored it. Wait, did it fall out of the box? Oh, I can't pause it. Oh, I wish I could pause it to see what fell. I can pause it in recording. And you guys can pause it while you're watching it. No, young lady, you are not going to just ignore that quest log. It is a very important and useful tool for adventures, and you are going to at least start to get a handle on that mess. Most of that stuff is pointless. Fun, maybe cool, but pointless. You can do that stuff whenever you want, but it shouldn't clog up your main objectives. So, let's start over. Your main objective is to get the package from Sigrid. That comes first. You have the pure essentials for that. The key and a plan. Yeah, this quest log could probably use some... anything. For starters, a way to separate what I'm actively doing from what I'm vaguely considering. Active quests. Wait, aren't all of these active quests already? Like, weren't these... I thought that there was already a difference between active and ones that were done. I thought the ones that were done were just like, disappeared. Gather resources for break-in at 4. Get package from Sigrid. Right, that should be enough to get me started. Walk around and try to find someone who is awake. People are usually helpful. I'm not sure how much I believe that anymore. Ever since I arrived in Cyrodiil, I've been looking all over for people who would be my silver arrow and offer me opportunities that would fix everything. But for every person I've met who's actually helpful, like Quillweave, Asotil, or the Ghost, there have been just as many who are only interested in my money or my possessions or my blood. In the case of that one lady who was totally a vampire, you did miss one thing that people have been after, but yeah. And even if you put those two groups together, there's a lot less of them than the people who just don't care. Innkeepers, merchants, even Stefan, who I'm not sure if I can even trust, is at best using me to further his own agenda. As far as these people are concerned, I'm just a tool. No, this time I'm going to stay in control. The world is my tool, and I am its. Tool wielder person. No more wandering, no more begging from now on. I'm only going to be accepting help from people who genuinely have something I need. Find clothes that won't make much noise. Example? Lots of metal will clink. I don't think you would want to risk the noise or try to sneak in naked. Not much, but hope it helps. Try and find something to soften the bombs of your feet so they're quieter. You're no savage barbarian type anymore, Katia Monaghan. You fight with finesse, solve problems with cunning, and see the world through the eyes of a witch hunter. I think it's time for a wardrobe update. We need a sweet thieves outfit for this, or at least a hood. Stompy boots, clanky pauldrons, and slappy leather flaps probably aren't ideal thief wear. I'll need something that will help me actually stay hidden, not give me away. I'll mark it down on my list. Acquire some health and magicka potions. We aren't made of septums, just wait it out. Even if I can scrape up some money, potions are going to be a little outside my price range. They usually were even when I was growing up. Something as simple as a watered-down healing elixir cost over 50 septums. The invisibility potion Quillweave trusted me with probably cost at least 200. But maybe if I can find something that will work, even some food with minor magical properties, like I got from Sigrid or Lenka, it might help out. I can't spot your lockpick. Do you still have it? Still have your lockpick? Make sure you've got your lockpick. Wasn't that stolen? Look, this is another thing we've been over. The lockpick is gone. I lost it when Sigrid confiscated all of my... I'm concerned. This should worry me more than it does. I'm just used to it by now. I added the lockpick to my inventory list. Happy? See if any stores are open at 1 a.m. Luckily, it looks like the lady from the general store is awake. Okay. That's a great 10 out of 10. Hey! You call over to her. Are you open? It's like 1 in the morning. That's not really an answer. My bedroom still has stray imps squatting in it, and a hardwood floor doesn't make a great sleeping surface. So, I might as well stay open all night. Okay. Cool, you say. Thanks. Go telekinesis fishing. Slaughterfish are the worst fish, but they still die if you make them leave the water. Their scales are worth more than everything you have, and it would let you know if you can use telekinesis on living things. Some bread scraps and ectoplasm aren't going to sell for much. It might be enough for a cloak and a small dinner, but hardly a properly equipped break-in. With my new telekinesis, though, I might be able to take care of those slaughterfish. I could throw something at them or haul them up and instantly have a meaty dinner and some marketable slaughterfish scales. I've heard those sell well. So, you've practiced defense with your telekinesis. Let's try attacking. That pointer looks mildly sharp. Try having your assistant fling it forth like an arrow. Nice throw. Well, maybe I can still haul them up and let them flop to death on the ground. There's a lot of wood around you now. Maybe you could make a fishing pole with it to get the slaughterfish? Using snow as bait because slaughterfish love water? That's a terrible joke. Why do I laugh at terrible jokes? I already tried fishing them out with stuff like that. I tried for hours yesterday. The fish just chewed through every rope, bucket, or stick that I'd gotten near them. Not to mention Khajiit aren't exactly known for their fishing abilities. And someone's beating Katia to the punch. Except that one, apparently. Was that the one that was just randomly out in the streets and, Katia just basically insulted to death because Katia has no actual clue what customs are for Khajiit? Actually, no, she did that to every Khajiit she's met so far. So that doesn't narrow anything down. You should probably apologize to the bartender for destroying his table with your mind. Yeah, no, that's not the same. Yeah, that's the one that was outside, not the bartender. Unless he was wearing a binder or something in all my previous encounters, I'm relatively certain this is not the bartender, I think. Rather than open my mouth about it, I'm just going to assume this is a different Khajiit. Say hello to the nice, completely non-threatening Khajiit. Might know a bit about how to improve your sneaking skills. So, hey, you point out. I can't help but notice you have some slaughterfish there. I just nodded. They were in the well. The guard captain saw them and offered a reward for anyone who took care of them. Oh, that's... Actually, I was planning on getting them out myself, just yesterday. You did not succeed. It looks like a harpoon works well. I tried using a harpoon myself, actually, though. My harpoon wasn't nearly as good as yours. Harpoon bit. It was way better than that one, though. Ask if you can have the scales and some food. Be all like, you gonna eat that? The Khajiit doesn't say anything, so you continue. I didn't actually know about any sort of reward when I was fishing for those yesterday. I figured I could just sell their scales, cook their meat, that sort of thing. Also, there was a woman there who wanted to poison the well or something if no one else would kill the fish. Slaughterfish scales do sell decently, and their meat is acceptable. This one will have it later tonight, oneself, after she sells their scales and collects the reward. She saw no such woman at the well, though. Oh, she left a long time ago. I kinda hope she's in jail now for putting people in danger. I mean, like, no offense to you if you've been in jail before for Khajiit things. Oof, that's not a good remark to make to someone who has a knife in their hand and a harpoon on hand. If you start losing your grip on the conversation, comment on the weather. Ask that Khajiit why she's out in the snow with no shoes on. I think most Khajiit go barefoot. So, how come you're, out in the snow with no shoes? It is the middle of the summer, and in the far south of Cyrodiil, snow was unexpected. Yeah, you say. I guess that would be unusual. Are you alright? Being barefoot in the snow? Every second that this one sits here with you is pure agony. I'm not sure if she's joking. The Khajiit continues her dark glare for a while. Eventually she says, "This one recognizes you. You're that Suthre with human tongue. Scampered around yesterday morning, talking to everyone." Oh, yeah. That was me. I think I remember you, too. We spoke in Tagra, and you compared my speech to, I'm not sure, my parents never taught me that word. This one commends your parents on giving you a respectable upbringing. What is up with this lady exactly? Even if she's just trying to get a bucket of water, why at 1 a.m.? Why is she even awake? Wait a second, how did she spear 2 slaughterfish without the rope tied to that spear? Inquire as to whether this woman is an acrobat or a wizard. So, you're some kind of fisher? Acrobat, this one corrects. She helps townshumans and good wizards Sigrid with odd jobs that need deep climbs, long jumps, or sight in dark places or scaring eye, fixing weather vanes, finding lost keys, scare away wildlife on jobs too small for Fighters Guild, and the like. Oh, I guess that kind of stuff makes sense for someone like you. Like me? She asks. Yeah, you say. Yeah, like us. Grab the rope. You'll likely need it for your heist. Take the rope from the well. It could be useful later. Maybe you could even use it to restrain Sigrid later. Uh-oh. Rope's twitching. Do you perchance want to take the rope? I saw it here earlier, so I'm guessing it's not yours. Seeing as how it does not belong to this one is going to do the responsible thing as a contributing member of society and not steal it in plain view like some sort of racial stereotype. I know what you're trying to say to me, but right now I'm on a quest. Besides, the rope's been here for a good 10 hours by now. If someone needed it more than I do, they would have taken it already. And it's not like I'm stealing it. I'll bring it back later. It's lying on the ground now, and I'll probably drop it back on the ground whenever I'm done with it. The Khajiit makes a low growling sound, but is otherwise silent as you gather up the rope. When you're done, she mentions that it's wet and late at night, and that she wants to go back home right now. Oh, when you're done, she mentions it is wet and late at night. This one wants to go back home right now. Unless there is something else Rakajit wishes to waste this one's time with. Ask her about Sigrid. You need all the information you can get. Mention the Good Wizard. Find out what odd jobs said Good Wizard may have had this Khajiit do before. That could be important. Ask Khajiit why she calls Sigrid Good Wizard in an attempt to glean information on the relationship status and background history. I tried to step the conversation back a few conversation steps. You said something about Good Wizard, Sigrid? The Khajiit nods. Sigrid is Good Wizard. She got rid of all the bad wizards. She is loved by all, makes Kvatch a better city to live in, and is well known for her generosity. The two of you are close, then? No more than others. The Khajiit explains that when this one first came to Kvatch, she didn't have much. When her food ran out, she looked for work. Sigrid was different from others. Sigrid was also one of the first townshumans to give oneself a job that used her particular abilities. Good idea. Redecorating. The elves and men of human lands, they would always assume Rajira would climb and jump and hunt just because of fur and claws. But good wizard Sigrid, she was different. She made a point to listen, hear what this one could do, and serve me as this one served her. Technically, though, all the people who assumed you could jump and climb were right. So, by listening to you explain the same things everyone else assumed, Sigrid wasn't really... That wasn't the point. I'm being really super racist, aren't I? Yes, the Khajiit says, unerringly without respite. I'm going to go now. That is probably for the best. Casual departure. Try to take care of those imps. They're a pretty small threat to a tough adventurer like yourself, and your natural spell resistance, dexterity, and fire magic should make quick work of them. Well, that excursion was a huge waste of time that didn't even get me dinner. As is, it's looking like my best option will be seeing if the shopkeeper will pay for me to help with those imps. My last encounter with imps didn't go well, but, well, I think I've come a long way since then, especially when it comes to dealing with magic. I can imagine things going a bit better this time. No, you can't. Or not. But, on the other hand, I also have much better control over my fire powers now. Lights the house on fire. Creative fuses leading to every house in Kvatch. I'm realizing everything I do would be a lot simpler if I discovered latent ice powers instead of fire. This would be the perfect time to test whether or not your telekinesis can affect living things. murder some imps and possibly nab yourself some goodwill and a reward. You're armed and largely immune to magic, so this could be a cinch. Kinch? Cinch? This should be a cinch. I feel like that's not how you say that word, but I also don't actually know what that word is, which is an oddity for me. It might just be spelling error. The problem is I'm not armed. I have some tiny claws, fire magic that's too dangerous to use inside, and one little fear spell which I can use my weird Khajiit eyeballs for. Imps, judging from my last experience, have larger claws as well as lightning magic that it can use without hurting themselves. I need supplies for the break-in, but I also need to stay safe and not die in time for it. Imps are dangerous magical creatures. If there was just one, then I could scare it away, but if there's any more than that, I might not be able to. It's dangerous to go alone. Take her. Katia, I'm just gonna add in a attempt to acquire follower. Actually, no, this is a good time to leave off. So we're leaving off, seeing if Katia can convince the person that she's definitely not been completely racist to join her. And let's see if she can take out a couple imps with their help. Well, leaving it there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, well, see ya.